Hey guys, so in today's video we have great news. Neversink's Filterblade tool was finally released for Path of Exile 2. So I wanted to make a quick video on how to use it to customize our filters, synchronize them with our Path of Exile profile, and also highlight the main features that I find more useful and how to use them. So if you're not familiar with Filterblade, it is a tool that allows you to customize filters, personalize your colors, your sounds, add additional rules, and it has base level of strictness, which are based on the economy and where you're currently at in the game. And one of the coolest features it has is that it allows you to save your filters in your Path of Exile profile and also load them later on in order to modify them. So you can manage multiple filters on it and then use them on the game without never having to interact with filter files. First of all, you will land in this page. You have to make sure that either the URL or this drop-down up here has PoE2 selected. Then if you want to store and synchronize your Path of Exile 2 profile, you can simply click on sign in with Path of Exile. This is completely safe, right? There are a few things that maybe you want to check. You might want to check that the pathofexile.com URL is correct, right? And also that the connection is safe, pretty standard. And then you can just hit continue, right? Here you can also tell what exactly you are giving access to Filterblade from your PoE profile. After that, you can then click on authorize. This is just an auth2 flow, which is pretty similar to what you do to log in into some website with your Google account. So it's perfectly safe as long as you check exactly what you are providing this application access to. So once you are logged in, you can click on back to my filters, right? Make sure that you have PoE2 selected, and then you can just go and create a new filter. So here on the screen you have 7 different strictness levels. Each one has a description, so you can move it around and check the tooltip in order to tell what kind of overall experience are you going to get with this level of strictness. So in this example, strict, basically it's recommended for waystones, early mid waystone tiers. I guess that means between 1 and 7, 6. And this will also hide rares that are from lower tier bases. For example, the ones you get on the campaign, like the advanced ones and the ones with no prefix that have very low base attributes. So this is very helpful to hide junk that is not worth picking up or even identifying. And here, for example, if I switch it to very strict, you can see that this is recommended for endgame waystone farming. It hides most inefficient rares and crafting bases. And then it also has in red that it hides waystones from tier 6, from tier 1 to tier 6, right? And once you have selected the strictness, then you can scroll down and see a quick overview on the most common things that people care in the filter. In this case, for example, you can see common currencies and you can see that they are crossed out. This means they are going to be hidden. It also tells you how all the items are going to be displayed. And if you want to, you can even right click it and jump to the rule that makes it look like this in case you want to customize something. But I'll go over this into a later part of the videos. Okay, so once you selected the strictness you want, if you don't want to customize anything, you can simply go to export to Path of Exile, and then you can add a name to the filter. So here I'll just name it very strict. NS. You can decide to make it public or private. This means that people will be able to see the filter in your Path of Exile profile and they are going to be able to follow it so they can keep up to date with the filter. And also you can make it private if you don't want it. You can add a description if you need to be more specific other than the name. These options are basically, this one is to auto load the filter in Filterblade whenever you enter the page. So if you are constantly modifying a filter, this is very helpful because that way you don't have to select between multiple filters. Well, you have other options like export on quick save, on download. You also have the auto update, which is kind of a premium feature. So if you want to support Neversink for all the great work he has been doing, you can do it by subscribing to his Patreon, and then you will have this option available as well, which basically will keep your filter up to date. So anytime he updates these strictness levels based on the economy, right? Because sometimes there are items that get more expensive, and in this case they will be more highlighted or they will be shown by the filter. But still, if you want to keep up to date, you can still just come in every once in a while and just update your filter, right? That's still an option. This is just if you don't want to go through that hassle and just skip it. And yeah, of course you have the login with Patreon option here in order to have access to this feature. So well done. Okay, so that's it. And then you can just hit sync and download. And here you have two options. You can save the filter, which will basically save a copy of the filter in case you want to modify it later. And it will download a copy so you can include it on your folder. I'll first go with the save and sync option. In this case, you can just hit save and sync, and then it's going to be uploaded with the same name you gave to the filter to your Path of Exile profile. This is very cool because now you can go to Path of Exile, then you open the options tab, and in the game section, you click on this drop down, and you can see that now the same filter that I added is here. So I can save my options, and here you can see the information about the filter that was loaded. Yeah, sometimes here you need to be patient as well because when you refresh it, it won't update right away. So just give it a minute or two and then you will have the update. If you are logged in with your PoE profile, you will be able to see your filters here. And the cool thing is that every time you load it, if there's a new version of any of the strictness levels, meaning that Neversink did some update to the filters based on the economy or things that change or based on new items, your filter will be automatically updated when you load it, right? That's pretty cool. So you can always log in every once in a while, check your filter, and check if the notifications here say that there has been an update. If there has been any updates, you can then just go here, click save and sync again, and it will be refreshed on the Path of Exile profile. So then you can just go back to the game and hit refresh again. And that's it. As you can see, the time of the update actually got refreshed based on the last update I did. If for whatever reason you don't want to log in, you can also download the filter manually. In this case, you can, for example, select the strictness you want, and then you simply go to export to PoE, then continue without saving, and you can hit download. Once you download the file, you can check the folder, copy the file, you go to documents, my games, and Path of Exile 2, and then you can just place the filter in there. This will of course respect any customizations you have. And another option you have is if you want to download all the strictness settings at once, you can just hit here and get all strictness. And then if I go to downloads, you will have this, well, it's generating each one, and now it downloaded it. So I can just get all the strictness settings, and then just my games, Path of Exile 2, and you can paste it in there. So if you go to Path of Exile now, open options, if you hit the drop down, you will notice that now you have all the different strictness settings in there. If I drop this, I won't see it, but if I change to regular, I can see the orb of augmentation. So now I will go over to some of the cool features that Filterblade has to customize our filters. So first, after you select the strictness of your filter, in the overview, as I mentioned before, you can right click any item and then jump to the rule. So if you see here, right now, it took me to the Customize tab, where I can see the exact rule that's hiding transmutation and augmentation orbs. So if, for example, you wanted to show them again, you can add your own rule here. You can click it, and then I can just add the base type, which is orb of augmentation, and once you click add, Filterblade will actually tell you that on the same group of rules, orb of augmentations are already in another rule, right? So it asks you if you want to move it to this tier instead. Here it's very important that you click yes, because since the rules that are up here have more priority, if you don't move the orb of augmentation from here to here, the result will be the same, right? Because this rule is set to hide and this one is set to show, but this one is going to be evaluated first. You can also just grab it from there to here. And now if you go back to the overview, you can actually see that transmutations and augmentations are displayed now. And if you want to reset any rule, you can just hit reset. And if I go back now, they are hidden again. So as you can see, there are multiple categories. I won't go on detail on all of them because they are a lot and this is not meant to be an in-depth guide. So you can just take a quick look and see if they are useful to you or if there's something you want to modify. So when it comes to personalizing the filter, one of the most useful rules you have available is this add custom show hide rule. And basically I usually use this one. Let's say a good example of this is that if you're playing a build which uses energy shield evasion gear, maybe you want to craft or try your chances by picking up loot and identifying and IDing it. So what you can do, for example, here, if I drop this white expert ghost grabs, you can see that the filter is not showing it. So what I can do to customize it in this case, or add all the gloves that are energy shield evasion based, you can go to the filter, select armor type, you go to name custom rule, you can add multiple of those. In this case, for example, if you want to add an additional rule, you can do it by clicking add rule. In this case, I'll just use this one, and I can basically, let's say I only want to see gloves, right? You can select the rarity. In this case, I'm going to select all. I want to see all of them. And then I'll just go and select all the ES evasion, right? Because that's what I'm interested in. And since I'm already at endgame, this item is item level 78. So I will say, okay, everything greater than 78 plus, right? And now what you can do, for example, if you want to filter lower tier base items, for example, advanced, ghost grabs, or anything lower, what you can do is you can set a condition based on the base evasion rating of the gloves. So that way, if the evasion, for example, is lower than a specific amount, they won't be displayed, which is usually is the case for all the lower tier bases. So in this case, let's say I'm just going to set base evasion to 60 to at least 60. Okay, and now I'll just go to save and sync. Now the filter has been synced. I'll go to Path of Exile, refresh my filter. I can check that the sync time is up to date. So when I drop the gloves, you can see here that you have the gloves. Of course, you can also customize the way this is displayed, right? You can select the text color. I'm gonna select white. You can select the background. The borders. You can select the background. You can select also the alpha channel. So if you don't want them to be, if you want them to be transparent or maybe not too opaque, you can just change the alpha channel. And then you can also, of course, select and then you can also select the sound you want to include, if it's normal or positional. You can also select between the default sounds you have. For example, you can adjust the volume and you can hear it as well. And then you can also select an icon which will be displayed on your minimap. And also if you want a beam, you can also add a beam. So it will basically have this effect when it drops, that it has that beam to the sky, just in case you want to get more attention to the item. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so now another cool feature that this has is that you can actually debug your filter. So say for example, I want to see why orb of augmentations are being displayed in this way. You can just, or maybe they are not being displayed. You can just Control-C on top of your item to copy all the metadata, and then go to Simulate, and then you select import item from Path of Exile, right? And then you can just, you can customize the area level here, because sometimes there are items that are hidden if the area level is greater. For example, depending on the strictness level, during the campaign, some items will be displayed, but once you reach maps or higher tier maps, they are not going to be displayed. So you can select the area level here, let's say 78, as if it was a higher tier waystone. So now I can paste the item and I can see the item here, right? And then you can click Finding Customizer and you can see the rule, right? Let's do the same for the gloves I just added to the filter. I can go back, I go to Simulate. You can paste as many items you want. And then here you can see that I have the history of previous items, and I can also see the item that I just added. So you can click on Finding Customizer and you will see the rule that's modifying the item. So yeah, another cool feature, if you want to quickly simulate loot to see, maybe to catch a few things that are going to be hidden, you can just go to here to simulate, click on the simulator, and then you can generate loot, random loot or valuable loot, which will have a higher likeliness of displaying higher tier items. So here you can see what's hidden, and then you can just right click it and jump to rule if you want to enable this. For example, I'll just say show now, right? If you found this video useful, remember to like and subscribe. And if you are really enjoying Neversink's Filterblade tool, remember that you can support him on his Patreon and also get the auto update cool new feature, by the way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.